Hi folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt, and I'm by myself once again. Hopefully for the last time though. Probably gonna get Mikey and Benjamin back on here to talk about some fun things. I have a topic. It is not an exciting topic. It's exciting to me because I thought about this one day, and by the title you already know what it is. Top 5, I don't know what I'm gonna call this, maybe Top 5 things I never bought, I regret to never buying, or something like that. I'll fix it in the title here. But top 5 things I regret never buying. And I'm going to address that topic. But as always, when we go solo, I got to talk for a few other minutes just to kind of pad the time. I like mine being about 30 minutes, but with the podcast being about 30 minutes. But with me just going solo, probably couldn't do that, especially with this topic. Gas prices. Gas prices are really high. Want to talk a little bit about gas prices. The cheapest I ever bought gas for, ever, in my entire life was 88 cents. It was back when gas was 99 cents a gallon. It had dipped as low as 92 in some places, 91 and stuff. I remember there was a little area outside of West Monroe called Balkanville. And oddly enough, me and my roommates won a radio contest. We got free video rentals for a year, but you had to go to Balkanville to get them. And it was just 2 video places, and one lady refused to give me the discount. She just stopped giving me the free movies. Even though I had a coupon book from the radio station, she probably got free commercials out of it, but she was not going to rent me anything until I started buying them. She was hoping she would have a paying customer, like maybe I'd get 2 video rentals. But I was like, no, I'm just going to use my free one and then go down the road and get the other one for free. But the other lady was super kind. She had a great B horror movie section, and literally she had the B horror movie section because she was into B horror movies, but no one ever rented them, and I would rent them all, and we'd talk about them. Then she'd suggest one for the next week, and I'd rent that one too. Well, after the year was up, I remember this because I do feel bad. The lady told me, she said, "Hey, so are you not going to come by anymore now that the coupon book's done?" I went, No, I'll come by. Now I was lying because it was way out of our way. And she went, "Well, please come back." She went, "Because I really love talking to you about horror movies and stuff like that. We have the same taste." And she was an older lady, and she was really kind. And she goes, "And I'll give you a discount. I mean, I can't give you a free rental, but I promise you I'll start giving you discounts if you come." I said, "Okay." I never came back again. And I do regret that, Young, I was thinking, yeah, whatever, I'm not coming back here. But I should have come back. She just wanted someone to talk to that had the same likes as she did. Anyway, though, the reason I'm talking about all this is on my way to those video rental stores, there was a gas station. It was on this road. I can't remember what the main road in Balkanville is. But gas was 99 cents at the time, and gas there was like 92 cents. And I was like, wow, or 94 cents. It was cheaper. And usually in rural areas like that, country areas, it's higher because, they're the only game in town. And that's eventually what happened. I think someone said, hey, just because you're in a, podunk area doesn't mean you have to pay podunk prices. Charge them high. And that's when they started charging just as much as everyone else in town or more. And that's when I left. Now, it may have been under new management too, but either way, I used to go there all the time just to get cheap gas. And about the time that our free video rentals had run out, so had the cheap gas. They started matching prices in town. I was like, oh, well, I'm not coming out here to pay the same amount. But for like 2 cents more, I probably would have kept doing it, spent more gas money getting to the gas station just to save that extra 2 cents. I would have done it for 2 cents, I think. But the cheapest we ever got it was in Atlanta, Georgia. We were traveling. I can almost think of the year. It's got to be 1998. I want to say I was still in college. I know I was. It was 97 maybe. I'm going to say 97. I don't think it was 96. It had to be 97 or 98. And we were traveling through Atlanta, Georgia, and there was a spot for 88 cents a gallon. And I was like, whoa. Now, remember, gas again back in the day was 99 cents. And I was like, 11 cents cheaper. I've never, and I remember telling someone, I will never get gas this cheap again. And I was right. Now, when gases rose the first time, and it went to $1.19, oh, I was pissed. That's what you pay for, like, premium gas back in the day. And I was so pissed. I said, when I filled up my tank, I said, I will never pay $1.19 ever again for gas. I made my promise that I'm just going to, coast on fumes until the prices come back down. Okay, well, I've kept that promise. I've never paid $1.19 for gas since. And if I saw it for $1.19, I would break my promise instantly. Because it went to $1.59 after that, then to $2, then as you know, it's $4 or $5 everywhere. And it was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So never got cheap gas again. That was the end of the cheap gas. It used to take $10 to fill up my little Nissan Sentra. $10. Okay, that's at 92 cents a gallon, so about 11 gallons or whatnot. But for $10, I could fill up my car. Okay, for $10, I could fill up my 2-gallon little lawnmower gas can. $10. What used to fill up my entire car now cost me $10. And I should have gotten gas way earlier in the winter when prices were rising heavily. You always thought they were going to fall down, fall again. But of course, now at the height of the summer, when gas is at its, absolute most, is when I'm running out of gas for the lawnmower. And I'm like, no, I only have to get gas like once a year. And I'm like, oh. So I went to fill it up, and it cost me $10. Made me sick. So, yeah, gas prices. And I have been an old man on gas prices for, 10 years now, because maybe ever since they started rising above $1 a gallon, because everywhere I go, it's cheaper here, 2 cents here, 3 cents here. And we used to live in an area where it had the cheapest gas. And then it wasn't anymore, and it pissed me off. But now we live in an area where the gases are the cheapest prices. And even now, like cheaper than Sam's, like the Walmart and the racetrack down the road around the corner from me, they're both cheaper than Sam's. Sam's Club has never had the cheapest gas in years. Used to be, you wanted a Sam's Club membership to get that cheap gas. You could get it for like 5 cents cheaper than anywhere else. No way, man. Sam's Club, we're not special anymore. Everyone has a membership, so let's just make it the same price as every other place. Honestly, they're maybe 3 cents cheaper than like a Shell or an Exxon. So Shell and Exxon right now are $4.02 or something, $4.03, and gas at Sam's is $3.99 or $4. It's so stupid. I was like, why? I mean, 3 cents is all you're getting from Sam's, and it's what, $3.97 at the Walmart. So the Walmart is cheaper, which you don't need a membership for. The Walmart is cheaper than Sam's Club. How is that possible? Sam's Club should be like $3.89. Something that you should be, wow, I need to get my membership. But no, it's not. And speaking of Sam's Club, I got another side topic to talk about. My wife and I became Plus members because they're really pushing that. The people at Sam's are trying to get you to get the Plus membership. What does it include? Nothing. It says extra coupon savings or extra notifications on savings. We're not going to use that. We did get a $15 gift card for going up, $22 on the price. And so I was like, oh, okay, so we got we paid $7. What did we pay that $7 for? It's yearly. So the extra $7 lets me get in an hour early at Sam's, which, to be fair, isn't that bad. I've been shopping early. They won't accept your card. I went once a long time ago, and they said, "Oh, you're not a Plus member, so you can't shop yet." And I went, "Oh," but she went ahead and carded me in and let me do it this time. And I said, "Okay, well, I'm never coming back early in the morning again." Even though it's best for me to do that. I work right next to Sam's. So dropping the girls off and going to Sam's real quick for a shopping trip works for me. But if I can't get there early anymore, I was like, oh, well, I'll have to shop at lunch with everyone else. No, I'd like to get there early. I'd like to shop a little early. If $7 annually was going to get me there early, I guess so. Now, that $15 gift card, no idea where it went in the missus' pocket. Never going to see that. She's probably already used it by now. But that, even though I'm paying for the membership there. I love the Sam's Pizza there, but the people there are really, after COVID-19 hit, they've been really rude. Of course, they got rid of the picnic tables. They put them back out again. They don't want to serve you. If it's after 3 or something, they don't want to make extra pizzas too. Like I went by there like at 3:30 or 4 something. They weren't even near closing. And I was like, hey, can you make another? We're not making any more pizzas. So what we have is what we have left. It's like, well, you're not going to make any more pizzas? I mean, I wanted to order one, take it home, and eat it there, which you could do around lunchtime. And you can buy the frozen pizzas there too. But to me, this is going to be weird, but Sam's Club pizza is the best pizza. It is the best pizza out there. I really love it. I don't know. There's just lots of good toppings on there. The dough is really nice. And it's my it's my number one pizza here in town. You should say, Matt, you don't have any good pizza places here. Well, you're probably right. If Sam's Club is my first choice, then yeah, you're probably right. We have terrible pizza places here. You know what my second one is? I'm not even making this up. Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese puts like some kind of garlic parmesan on their crust and everything, and it's really good. It's not bad pizza. I just told my wife yesterday, I said, you know what? You may laugh at me, but I think Chuck E. Cheese is the second best pizza here. I mean, Pizza Hut, meh. I won't say no to it, but it's just not, it tastes kind of normal. Little Caesars we get because it's cheap, not because it's good. Domino's, to be fair, I haven't had Domino's in a long time. Papa John's tastes like pig slop, so I don't like Papa John's. And I haven't had Domino's in a while, but Domino's is super friggin' expensive. If you want more than 3 meat, which I do. I like a Supreme, and it's hard to get a Supreme for cheap unless it's Sam's or Chuck E. Cheese. Well, no, Chuck E. Cheese is actually cheaper than Chuck E. Cheese pizza is actually cheaper than Domino's. So I like Johnny's Pizza. It's true. My wife is kind of coming around to Johnny's Pizza. That's a Louisiana, I think, pizza place here. That's all over the state. And it's a good pizza. They cut it in slices. They don't cut it in pie slices. They just cut it vertically and horizontally. And it's really good pizza, but super expensive, like $20 for a Supreme. And it's like, so, when I want to treat myself, I go out there. Now, looking at all the pizzas there, would I choose Johnny's over Chuck E. Cheese? Possibly, because I do like Johnny's Pizza. So Johnny's Pizza may be number 2, if I'm being fair. If price is no matter. But price is a factor, then Chuck E. Cheese, It's not bad. Plus, my girls love to play on all the toys and stuff. They like to ride. They don't like to get tickets. Tickets get them cheap, crappy toys, and they don't really care about those. All they care about is putting those coins in to get them rides. But anyway, I am all over the place. So, let me explain a little bit about today's top 5. I asked the missus if she wanted to join. She said no. Doesn't sound interesting. And I doubt that Mikey or Benjamin would have found this one interesting too. This is one of the ones, sometimes I make these top 5 lists all the time, and sometimes I think, oh, this is very creative, people will love it. And then sometimes I can see, like Benjamin, I love him, but he hasn't been behind some of my top 5s. And that's fine. It's totally fine, because some of the topics, I agree, just don't float his boat. I mean, there's topics he could probably come up with that I probably wouldn't like either. I've surprised him a couple of times on topics, but there's other topics, he's just not in it. He's not. I mean, he's a good guy. He sits in anyway. He's like, well, Matt, it's your podcast. I'm just here to help out. But I know I doubt. I didn't ask him, but I don't think this is one he'd be interested in. I thought my wife would maybe be interested in it because buying things you regret you didn't get. Because there's been a lot of stuff like that, and I was thinking about it just the other day, telling a story. I talked to my brother about this podcast. For anyone who doesn't already know the story, my grandmother died a few weeks ago. Going down for the funeral, me and my brother drove together, and I started telling him about Samoflange and all the top 5s we had. And then he would give me his top 5. I just kept looking at my YouTube channel for different top 5s. Went, okay, here's the ones I had. And I'd give him my top 5s for it. Then he'd give me his top 5s. It was a fun game. And then we got to where we were talking about things we regretted not getting. I can't remember what Samoflange got us on that topic, but I thought, hey, there's an idea. Top 5 things you wish you would have gotten. Because I said, I think I can make this list up, and I think I can be pretty good at it too. And immediately, I came up with 4 things. 4 things right off the bat. And then the 5th one I thought about when I got home from the funeral. Because I thought, oh man, maybe this isn't a good topic because, I can't think of 5. But then immediately I thought of a 5th one. I was like, oh, I wish I would have gotten that. So these are top 5 things I wish I would have gotten back in the day. Can you still get them now? Yes, but they're super expensive or really hard to find. All right. Now, a lot of you who watch my YouTube channel, you're probably going to say, oh, yeah, these Star Wars books. And I agree with you, all right? Like, oh, man, I really wish I would have bought this back in the day because now it's too expensive. And that's basically, let me look at my list again before I think about this. That's basically all of these but 2. And I'm sure one of them would be super expensive today, but three of them. I think three of they'd all be expensive today. But then, they would just be hard to find. So about three of these, one would be impossible to find now, and the other two would be pretty much impossible. I don't know. It seems like all of them are impossible to find now, except for one, but super expensive. So that's the topic today. Again, I try to get the Mrs. Mrs. says, I'll come on the podcast again. Remember, she said she wasn't back a long time ago. I haven't had her on the podcast unless it's been for one of our crossover podcasts when, Benjamin and Wesley were here, which I was happy to have her on. I'm happy to have her on again, and she said if I find a good topic for her, she'll do it. So we may have the Mrs. back on a couple of times, which would be a lot of fun, for me at least. I kind of have these in an order. Let me see. Do I have these? Yeah, I think I have these in order, but I can be talked into switching them out at any time. Any of these could be number 2, or some of them could be number 1. Yeah, I'm dead set on number 1. I kind of am, but not. Okay, so here we go. Maybe switching things around as I'm talking here. So here we go. Number 5. This is something that you can't find anymore. It's a McFly was wrong shirt. Now, what does that mean? Okay, the Mets were in the playoffs, and this was the year, I want to say it was 2016, when they went all the way to the World Series and lost to the Royals. Someone's going to ream me for this. It's like, man, how could you misremember this? I'm trying to remember because whatever year it was, maybe it was 2015. I can't remember. It was the year that the Cubs were... Back to the Future 2 predicted the Cubs won in the year, maybe it was 2015. And the Mets didn't go, but the Mets beat the Cubs. I remember they beat the Cubs. Everyone thought the Cubs were destined to go to the World Series that year, and the Mets beat them. Okay? The Mets did go to the World Series that year. It is 2015. I'm almost positive now. Anyway, so, and by the way, the Cubs had beaten the Mets every game of the season. Every friggin' game. I had a buddy of mine who was a VP at the place I work at. He's a big Cubs fan. We talk baseball all the time. He brought a little Cubs garden gnome and a broom and left it in my office at my desk, saying, the Cubs are going to sweep the Mets again, for the playoffs. And I thought so too. In fact, when we had beat the Dodgers, I remember turning to my wife and saying, wow, I get one more week of baseball. She went, well, you mean you're going to go to the World Series? I went, no, the Cubs are going to sweep us. And the Cubs were really good that year too. But I told my wife, I said, there's no way the Mets can beat the Cubs because they haven't all season long. I said, but at least they get one more week of baseball is what I told her. And every time the Mets won a game against the Cubs, I went, wow, I get one more day of baseball. I seriously, even when the Mets were up 3-0, I told my wife, I said, wait for it. The Cubs are going to wake up and they're going to collapse the Mets in 4 games straight. Because, in my opinion, both the Dodgers and the Cubs were better teams than the Royals. The Royals were good, don't get me wrong. But compared to the Dodgers and the Cubs that year, they were distant third. Distant third. In fact, I was confident we were going to win the World Series after we swept the Cubs. That was my undoing, right? But anyway, once we beat the Cubs, a shirt came out, either on MLB or through I think it was on the Mets store. And it said McFly was wrong. Basically, joking, poking fun back at all those fans who said, oh my gosh, the Cubs are going to win the World Series, just like Back to the Future 2 predicted. And everyone cheered for the Cubs because they wanted Back to the Future 2 to happen. They didn't even care about baseball. They just wanted Back to the Future to call the championship 30 years in advance, which, by the way, very impressive if it would have happened. I get it. But the Mets shot back with a McFly is wrong. Now, the McFly is the Mets symbol, is the Mets M, the emblem. McFly was wrong. And I thought that shirt was hilarious. And I planned on buying it after the Mets won the World Series. I said, because this is so stupid. I wanted to save on shipping. I said, I'll buy a Mets championship t-shirt and that McFly is wrong shirt once the Mets win. I swear to you, that's why I said. All right, once the Mets lost, I was distraught. I couldn't think about baseball without vomiting until the next season. Forgot about that McFly was wrong shirt. Can't find it anywhere now. It was a short-term joke. The Mets removed it probably in the off season, and they've never printed it back. Why would they? We didn't win the World Series. Everyone's kind of forgotten it now. I have looked everywhere, high and low on eBay for that shirt. Can't find it. I super regret not getting that shirt. Because even if people don't get the joke today, I knew it. And I should also say an honorable mention would be a Pirates 91 Pirates National League Champion shirt. A liquidation outlet. Back in the day, back before when a team's about to go to the World Series or win a national championship or something, they make championship shirts for both teams. So that way they can just bring it out to stores the next day and that's why players are wearing their championship shirt on the field after they've won, because they've made 2 different shirts. The company did. Well, they made a 91 Pirates National League Champion shirt, and of course the Pirates fell apart in the 9th inning amazingly to the Braves, and the Braves won. Well, what happened to those Pirate shirts? Nowadays, they get destroyed. But back in the day, they just pass them off to some closing outlet. We happened to find what closing outlet it was. It was in, what was the name of that town? Boaz, Alabama. And they had 91 Pirates championship shirts. And me and my brothers were confused. We're like, wait a minute, but the Braves won that year. And my dad explained to us what it was. And we went, oh, well, why would you want one of those? Can you imagine how much those would be worth now? An old championship shirt that was printed but never used. Oh my gosh. And those all got thrown away because no one in Alabama cares for the Pirates. And I just regret not getting one of those too, but that is an honorable mention. That's an honorable mention now that I think about it. That McFly is wrong shirt, number 5. Number 4 is also a shirt as well. And I just, because I can't find it anywhere, it's a Hardy Boys jersey, an old school one, the purple one with the neon green sleeves and collar. And if you do find it, it's going to be worth like $200, $400. I couldn't pay that much. Back in the day, it was like $35, $40, or maybe, $45, or maybe, let's say. It was just a little too much for me to spend when I went to the wrestling shows back in the day. I love the Hardy Boys. I bought the Hardy Boys necklace for $10. I was like, dang, if I buy that one, I think it was going to be like $50. So maybe the jersey was $40 or whatever, which is a steal now, right? But I was thinking, I really want that jersey too, but I'm not going to spend $40 on a jersey. And I should have, because I love the Hardy Boys. And I'd still wear that old Hardy Boys Team Extreme jersey today, the purple with the, like I said, neon green, cut sleeves and collar. Oh my gosh, I looked everywhere for those because Tim from Open Airlock Policy, I did some wrestling streams with him, and I wore my Hardy Boys necklace. I wanted to wear the Hardy Boys jersey. I looked everywhere, high and low. And to be fair, like a year or so ago, I saw it for like $60 or $100, like a really good deal. And I was like, I'm not paying that much. Should be like $50. I just remember it was right outside my like $60 or $70, and I should have bought it. I should have bought it even for $100, because that jersey. And I have like. I should have bought it. I wanted a Triple H jersey too, but I was just too daggum cheap to pay for a jersey. I had an old school DX shirt, which is now gone. I can't find it anymore. I had my old school original NWO Wolfpack shirt, which is in great condition because I rarely wore it. And let me see, what else did I have? The only jersey I got was a 3 Doors Down. The band 3 Doors Down. Because, this is the stupidest thing, we went to a concert, and it was a really fun time. Oh, man, maybe we should do top 5. I think my wife has done that, concert experiences. I think I talked about this on the Samoflange once. But I caught the drumstick from the drummer, and the band was pointing me out. And it was really fun because I was in the front row, and I was just really getting along with the band. I was like, man, this band's awesome. And just like every knucklehead, after he has a great experience at a concert, I go out and have to buy a t-shirt. And I was like, no, I'm getting the jersey because 3 Doors Down, they're my boys, because I got guitar picks from them. And I mean, they just kept handing me stuff, they'd point right at me and hand it to me because, it was just a great concert, and I was getting the crowd all riled up. It was really fun. But anyway, that's the only jersey I own. And 3 Doors Down, no one's going to know what that means now. They won't even know it's a band now. They said, what's 3 Doors Down, Matt? And I rarely wear that jersey, even though I should. I should wear it. It's still nice, still in good condition. All right, but Hardy Boys jersey, easily number 4. Number 3, this is where it gets hard. I'm going to put this one down a little bit, knock it a little bit down from where I originally had it. But the Michael Jordan rookie card, the 85-86 Fleer card, or 86-87 Fleer. I think it's 85-86 Fleer. I may have had this back in the day because I bought those cards back in the. My buddy collected basketball cards. I collected baseball. We made an agreement to both collect baseball and basketball, but I wasn't into basketball as much as he was, so I straight up traded him all my basketball cards for all his baseball cards, and I thought I walked away with a steal. But that was also the year that Michael Jordan's rookie was out, so I probably gave him a Michael Jordan rookie card. Now, trying not to think about that, flash forward in the late 90s, I'm working at a card shop, and the boss has a pristine, perfect condition Michael Jordan rookie card for $3,000. Now it's worth like 20 or 50. I don't know. It's worth a ton of money now. And I knew it was going to be worth more money in the future because Michael Jordan's forever. And I would sit there when I was at work and no one's around and just stare at the card. And the owner knew I loved that card. He said, Matt, you want to make a deal? I tell you what, take it home with you. It's yours. He said, I'll just start cutting your pay. Let's cut your pay in half. I said, I can't live off half pay. He went, okay, well, how much do you want me to take out of your check for the next, year or something, to where you'll pay me back that $3,000 in work? And I was like, oh, because he said, you can work overtime, you can work extra. And I was thinking, yeah, but when I work over the summer, I want that extra money. Now, that was dumb because I could have found a way to cut my cost. I was living on my own, true. Maybe could have moved back to mom and dad's and given him the whole amount of money. That's what I really should have done. But I didn't. I wimped out on it, and I sat there and kept I said, am I going to regret this years from now? And yes. I would have loved to have had that Michael Jordan rookie card. Michael Jordan, still my favorite basketball player. He will, and he is and always will be the greatest of all time. I don't even watch basketball anymore, but I would have cherished that card, especially with the $3,000 tag on it. I would have kept that $3,000 on there because I would have worked it off. I wouldn't have had to pay for it necessarily. It would have just been free work days or something here and there. So a couple $100 just thrown into the kitty until I get that $3,000. But I just didn't do it, and I should have pulled the trigger on it, and I regret it now. And that thing is just way out of my price range today. Oh gosh, these next two are really hard. But I'm going to say number 2, you can't find anymore. It's board game related. The Spartacus Primus Edition game mat. I love Spartacus, one of my favorite games of all time. They came up with this huge play mat, Gale Force 9 did years ago. I didn't buy it because I didn't want to buy game mats. But now if a game is, like really stupid good, I want to get a game mat for it. Like I'm thinking about getting the Twilight Imperium game mat now because I play it so much and I love this game. But I said, okay, I will get this, whatever it was, this next playmat here. I'll get this Primus Edition playmat. I couldn't find it anywhere. It was out of print. Gale Force 9 wasn't making anymore. When it came back on eBay for a very short time, there were 4 copies. Someone had 4 copies for sale, each for $200. I was like, yay! And I told my wife, I said, no way am I going to do that. It is not worth that amount. And in 2 hours, all 4 copies sold out. Because there's a lot of people who want that game mat too. Now, my buddy Bernardo from Tabletop Island says he can make one or design one to print out on a nice mat format. I'd love for him to get around to doing that because I really want one, but I'll never be able to get the price. If I saw it for $200, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. I'd buy it in a heartbeat because I love the game so much. I want the game mat for it, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it was ever meant to be. My number 1 is a story I don't know if I've told before. Years ago, back in the early years of eBay, I mean, we're talking like the early 2000s, I had tons of money to just blow on anything, and I blew it a lot. I was making tons of money selling DirecTV, and I wanted to find new and creative ways to spend it. And I was on eBay, and I bid for an entire, complete set of Mask toys. If no one knows what Mask is from the 80s, it was this cartoon of these vehicles that could be, a car could be a plane, a Jeep could be a boat, they just try to transform into 2 different things. And I loved those toys back in the day. Someone was selling a complete, in the box, all the extra little individual pieces, the play stations, the play areas, or whatever. Every toy, everything on the production line from Kenner, from Mask, was for sale. Play sets, that's what I'm thinking about. Play sets. And then the individual things. And then the hard to find final phase of the toy line before it went out into obscurity. He said his dad owned a pharmacy that had a bunch of toys there too. He found all these, he put them together, completed a set, and was selling it online. I was winning the bid at $1,000 and I backed away. I was like, what am I doing? $1,000? No. I said, I don't want to spend $1,000 on toys I'll never play with. And now that set is priceless. It's priceless to find now. It's super expensive online. You can get a collection of some of those for like $1,000, but not a complete set. A complete set would run you at least 10 times that amount. And if I just spent like $20 more, because I remember someone bid me out like $1,500 and won. And I was thinking, I should have gone. Now I would have gone $1,100 to make sure I won it, and probably would have paid $1,050 maybe for it. But what would I do with a complete set of mass toys? I don't know. Open them up with my son and play with them. Like I have a huge set of the first run of Hasbro Star Wars toys. You're thinking, Matt, that Millennium Falcon's worth a ton of money. Yeah, but guess what? That Millennium Falcon's going to be opened up and played with for the first time ever when my son turns a certain age. Because I'm going to go. They're all at my parents' house. They're in a closet. They're all in the boxes too. And my son's going to have the biggest, bestest Christmas ever. My daughter's going to be upset with me, but I'm going to say, hey, these are all Dad's old toys. I didn't spend any money on them. I'm just giving some of my old stuff. But really wish I would have bought that set because I'd love to have it in my collection today. Would I spend that much money on it now? No, because now I got a family, I got other responsibilities to do. But either way, though, those are my top 5 things I regret not buying. So in the comments below, tell me what were your top 5, and I'll see you next time on Saturday Morning Samoflange. Sucks being by myself.